My name is Pebuka Ugu. I'm the founder and CEO of AfriSportPro Youth League. Growing up, I wanted to be a footballer. Actually, all my life, I lived football. I wanted to make it football in football professionally. I made every decision in my life with the fact that I want to be a footballer. I had it in mind. So every decision I made was towards actually making it. But it never happened. And so did it not happen for my friends. So I felt, there's still thousands of Nigerian youth still going through that lack of opportunity. So that's why we set on this. Creating a structured, player-focused league that helps player develop. Playing regular football helps players develop. That's one problem we're trying to solve. Second problem is creating opportunities. Every week there is a scouting program going on in one part of Nigeria or another. But then there's also a large part of the country where scouts will never go to. So they don't have the same opportunities as those in the especially metropolitan cities. So we try to, democratize the opportunity, democratize the access to visibility. So these two problems we are top or on the problems we try to solve. First impact is that hundreds or thousands of young Nigerians must have gotten opportunities from the grassroots to professional football, and those who are not able to make it professionally would have gotten scholarship to colleges, universities around the world. And we also hope that within the next 10 years, you must have influenced the Nigerian football to focus on structure. We have the talents, we have the clubs, but they are limited structure. So the impact we are going to make is not just for ourselves. We want others to come in and build the kind of things we are building, that creating structures and then opportunities for young Nigerians. And within the next 10 years, we hope to have spread the league to at least 30 states of Nigeria, bringing in more clubs, thousands of young Nigerians. And then lastly, we have this vision of expanding this league to some other African countries. So we hope to have that AfriSport Pro Youth League, Ghana AfriSport Pro Youth League, Rwanda, and all that. One of the biggest challenges is managing people from different backgrounds, different cultures. As you know, the league is spread across the six geopolitical zones of Nigeria. So we are learning that Nigerians and have different, more diverse cultures than we ever thought. So the way we manage people from one state is different from the way we manage people from the next. So it's difficult to manage this number of people and how they agree to participate in a league with this national spread. And then another major problem is financing, of course. Football is still seen as a leisure event and sport in Nigeria. So corporate organizations, private investors, they haven't seen the need to invest in a project like this. So we have that constraint with raising funding or getting financing and all that, or sponsorships even. Well, the scale is very huge, and given the environment we are, not many people do that. I would say only the government are able to do this kind of scale. So what it means is opportunity and hope for the young talents, especially those in underserved states. There are some states where leagues like this is normal. They have other leagues like this, but there are some states that something like this is new. A structured competition that has a global visibility that spans weeks. So it is something new for them. They're still trying to kind of get to understand what we are doing. What it means for them is giving these young talents hope wherever they are in Nigeria. There are so many things how because we've learned a lot. But if I'm going to say one thing, I wish people understood is um, there is very limited opportunities for these talents. Very limited. Yeah. And we try to solve that problem. One is the impact we hope to make is for Nigerians to take structure more seriously. We know we have the talents, we know we have the clubs, but then very limited structure to give these clubs and talents that environment to actually develop these players. I will give an instance with countries like England or Germany, who are even smaller than us in population and in size. They have more leagues existing in those countries. They have Division 1 to 4 or 5 regional leagues. So, which means that more talents are brought under a structure, more clubs are brought under a structure. But here in Nigeria, we have more numbers. We have people in millions, young talents everywhere, clubs everywhere. But then a limited number of leagues operate to cover this, to give these clubs that competitions or structural competition to participate in. The NFF have a lot of leagues and they are doing some great work, but Nigeria is too big for even the government to actually do everything alone. So we are giving a support to try to make that impact. We want decision making to start being scientific in terms of player invite or player call ups at the national under 20s, under 17s. You know, Nigeria can invite 200 top players to these national teams, but then sometimes you only have to invite 25. And how do you know the best 25? So we feel the best way to make the decisions is using data. And for you to use data, there have to be structured competitions where players' performance can be tracked over time. And if this starts happening, I think our football in general will start improving. What I would tell them, young Nigerians that are aspiring to be footballers, is the best advice I would give is do not put everything you have in football. Try to do something else, and while playing football, go to school if you have the opportunity. Learn a skill, learn a trade, because it might not work out, even though we all hope it works out. And there are millions of you out there trying to do the same thing. And football is a sport only a few get to the top. So you should as well have something to fall back on if it doesn't work. So take your academics seriously, take skill acquisition seriously, and work very hard. And yeah, the sky will be your limit.